Growing up, I always dreamed of myself being a father and having great memories with my parents and kids. I didn't think I would be in the situation I am in now. Sorry if my story doesn't flow very well or jumps around. Not great with storytelling. A little backstory. I grew up in a family where my parents divorced when I was around 10 years old. Infidelity and lies amounted to a marriage that my father couldn't stay in any longer. Ever since then, I always did my best to keep a great relationship with both parents. I would primarily stay with my father with weekends at my mother's when she was available. I don't remember how often it was, but I would feel like it wasn't ever enough to keep a good relationship with her. My mom would get into and out of relationships faster than I could remember, but eventually stay with my stepdad. My father would eventually marry again, but I felt he always put me and my siblings before his relationships. Looking back on it, I can see Dad made every attempt to make it to special occasion. During high school, he would make it to just about every sports game I was in and help me get into stuff I was interested in. My mom, on the other hand, I would only see on her time and to benefit her emotions. I had a rough patch my junior year of high school. My father wanted me to focus on school and was more strict, and my mother was lenient and fed into my bad behavior. I would eventually resent my father and let some manipulation from my mother feed into my behavior. In the end, this caused my parents to send me to another school out of state. This was the best decision they made for me, and I don't fault them on this. Unfortunately, at the time I hated my parents for this not seeing the benefits. I faked it to make it with my parents, so I would eventually be able to come home. Again, my father would make every attempt to visit me and build a strong relationship. This included showing up to multiple football games that I didn't expect them to be at because of how far away my hometown was. My mother would only visit on mandatory family visits set up by counselors. I try not to blame her as much for this because she and my stepdad were small business owners, and for them to close up early to come visit for the weekend could affect them financially. My dad did have a career that offered paid vacation, and he could work remotely if needed. My dad did everything he could to speak good about people and try not to feed into negativity from anyone. My mother, on the other hand, would always sow seeds of negative thoughts towards my dad. She had a manipulative way of making it feel like my father was the reason they got the divorce. She would always make us feel like it was our fault when she did something that we didn't like her to do. She has always had a need for validation. Nearly 15 years after being sent to the school out of state, she still asks if I'm mad at her for that, even though I've told her that it was best thing for me at the time. Once back in my hometown, I fell back in with the same crowd and ended up back in the same situation again. I was kicked out at the age of 18 and after graduating high school. For almost 7 years, I worked my butt off and became successful. I went to community college and worked nearly a full-time job. All this time working on my relationships with my parents, having dinner over the weekends, or when I got tired of leftovers and pizza. I eventually moved several states away from my family for school, and that's where I met my now wife. We had our first child, and then set our wedding for the summer after their first birthday. My mother, in classic fashion, made the ordeals about her. She was late to pictures. My mother has only met my firstborn child, and it was at my wedding. My mother's love language is buying stuff. So every Christmas and birthdays, the kids get toys and clothes that the kids will play with, but have no relevance to what they enjoy. This is not because I don't tell her what they are into, but because she isn't involved. Currently have 3 kids, and our last due to be born soon. My mother has not met any of my other children, nor do I think she will ever. Part of this was because of COVID, and at the time we had a newborn and another child shortly after. We did not want to risk their health or lives because the lack of vaccinations or quarantine. This brings me to the main issue. November, my mother sent me a text for sizes for clothing on my kids, and this was my response: Mom, I've been trying to word this the best I could, and I mean this in the nicest way. Please save your money on the clothes. What we would like is for you to FaceTime/video call so the girls know who you are. I know you are busy, and I understand you guys can't just come to visit, but my daughters don't know who my mom is. I'm not asking for a daily deal, but maybe a couple times a month. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, and you don't take it in a malicious way. Her response was, I understand, sweetie. I would like to at least call and talk to them. Don't know about the face chatting. I need your schedules so I can arrange time since we are on different time zones. We are an hour time zone different. For me, the weekends could work. Not sure about you? Let me know. We agreed to try and talk on Sunday, and we had a short conversation. With the kids, not knowing why this stranger was talking with them. My wife has kind of had it with the situation. She thinks I'm good for trying to keep her in my life and the kids' life. I feel like there might be some bias on my wife's side because her parents are around and are very involved with our kids. My wife will have reservations about my father as well, but he does visit at least twice a year and does FaceTime to talk with the kids. Most of this last part has happened over the last 2 years. The straw that broke the camel's back occurred this last week. My oldest had their 5th birthday, and my mom may not attempt to contact them. We had multiple phone calls from family who couldn't come to the party asking to speak to my oldest, including my father, who is out of country, nearly a 12-hour difference in time. Instead, my mother posted on her Facebook page, saying happy birthday to my oldest. My oldest would never see this unless I told them, and again, they don't really know who my mom is. In response, I commented something to the extent I wish you would have called me to speak with my oldest instead of posting on Facebook where they will not see it. I may have had a drink or two by this time, making it easier to fall into conflict and being frustrated. The post was deleted and my mother texted me the next day. It was too late to when I made that Facebook post. I will say I felt a little hurt with your reply, so I just deleted the whole post. Anyway, having dinner. Have a good weekend. This again frustrated me. I took my time to respond and got approval from my more clear-headed wife to text her this. Mom, I've been trying my best to not make a big deal about it, but I feel like you don't make as much of an effort to see my children or be a part of their lives as I wish you would. You chose to make a show on social media instead of a private message, text, or call. This last post was a prime example. You are acting like my children know you and have a connection with you for everyone to see on Facebook. When I told my oldest who gave them the camera, they said, "Who is that?" Not because I don't try to have you in our lives, but because you have only seen my oldest when they were 16 months. You have never met my other 2 children, and our next child will be here in 4 months. I struggle day in and day out on why I keep trying. I love you, Mom, and I'm sorry you felt hurt, but imagine how I feel when all of my kids don't know who you are. I hope with this message that you can understand how I feel about the subject, and we can work towards something better for my kids. I love you, Mom, always will. I have seen a few passive-aggressive Facebook messages on her Facebook and since unfollowed my mom there, not blocked. She replied back to me, Opie, I am sorry you feel the way you do. All I can say is wow. Social media is what is causing you issues? Vaccinations is causing me from visiting you and my grandbabies. Last time we spoke, we had to be vaccinated to come see you all. Sorry that is not happening. Communication is a two-way street. My other 3 children call me once or twice a month. Why don't you? Like I stated before, I had been the one making all of the attempts prior, and now she says it is a two-way street. We have not talked much since these interactions other than saying happy birthdays and happy holidays in text. I eventually found out that my mother blocked me on her social medias, essentially cutting her off from my children completely. I received a Facebook message after she unblocked me that read as followed. I am sorry that you and I have drifted so far apart. I love you, Opie. I hope we can reconnect again, but it is going to take both of us to do that. I am sorry I blocked you, but I did it for self-preservation and not because I don't care. I would love to see you and your beautiful family, but please know I will probably be working for at least another year. I love you so very much, Opie. Please know that I do want to reconnect if you are willing. Hugs and love, your mom. I again got upset with the content of this message, and with our family Christmas card sent this letter to her. Mom, I have been working on how to properly word this for a few weeks now. I want to start off by saying that we love you. I have been struggling with why you choose to act the way you do. I cannot control that or change it. That will be up to you. I had a very long conversation with you in the past year explaining how I felt and what I wanted to see change. You had not done that, so I did not make it down this two-way road. I will always honor you and Ken and not speak evil about you guys. I just cannot wrap my head around what I did to you to be treated like this or have my children suffer. You never ask about my children. You never ask how me or my wife are doing. From my perspective, you are very self-centered, and this may be my bias, because I don't know what is going on in your life. This also is probably my fault because I quit asking you what is going on in your life. This has only seemed to have gotten worse since I asked you to reach out to us more. I fully understand that your job is taxing on you at your age. I also understand you get busy. I would hope you would reach out to us on your days off after some rest. You know that I am available on Sundays, and even if I am not, a simple text, message, or call asking if I am available would only take a few moments. I am still confused to why you would block yourself from my Facebook profile if that was your only way to see my children. Your explanation that it was a self-preservation makes me think you are trying to say I am hurting you by having a social media. I share what little I do to the world. Trust me, I don't post pictures of my life to hurt you. That is not what I think about. The only explanation I can come up with is that you are searching for this kind of attention. You wanted me to reach out to find out why. I do not have time to waste on this kind of childish actions. If you want to be in my kid's life or mine, you need to make more of an effort. We have full-time jobs, I help on my in-laws' farm from time to time, I am raising 4 kids, and overall we are busy with our kids and their activities. Others in my life reach out to me, and when I have time I reach out as well. I have gotten tired of always making the effort for you when you seem to not care about us. The last few conversations you and I have had were about you and your garden, or you forgetting your grandchildren's birthdays. A simple text to ask how my kids are doing every once in a while was what I asked for. I am sure you will not understand what I am trying to say in this message, just like when you told stepdad that I said you can't send gifts to the kids. What I had told you is to save your money on gifts and come visit with that money saved because you had said that finances are tight. This was then followed up by you going on vacation to my sisters or brothers. Let me make this clear in text. I would like you guys to visit my children so they can get to know you. I was raised not knowing your mother because she died before I was born or shortly thereafter. My kids do not know who you are, and in photos from our wedding always question who you and stepdad are. I am sending your check back, so I do not feel like I owe you anything for taking it. If you can afford to send gifts to my children, then please do so, but I again would prefer for you to come visit. Her reply was, received your letter today. I am so disappointed with you. You need to grow up. Remember, you need to be a good role model to your children. Thank you for letting me know what you think and how you feel about me. The guilt trip you are trying to play doesn't work with me. I am not Catholic. Have a great life, Opie. Please know I will always love my grandchildren, but as they grow up, please let them know about the letter you wrote me and how you sent back their Christmas money. You are the self-centered one. I tried twice to come visit during the summer and fall, but you were busy with your wife's family reunion and you had to go hunting in fall, so don't tell me I haven't tried. You weren't available when I could come visit, so I visited my other children that are only a day's drive away. I was recently promoted again, so I won't be able to visit anyone for a while, but our home is always open if you see your way to come visit us. The ball is in your court, but please remember I am not going to dictate to you what you should do like you're trying to do to me. You know how to burn bridges. Hope you know how to fix this if you want your girls to know me. Sorry for the long read, but Reddit, I'd like your unbiased opinion. Am I the asshole? TLDR. AITAH, because I told my mother she is a terrible grandmother after years of manipulating me and now neglecting to be a part of my kids' lives?